Add sparkle and joy to your life by setting unconventional goals. My next guest recommends you swap the traditional New Year's resolutions for some that are more lighthearted. They are the kind of goals you'll actually want to keep. Personal growth educator Amanda Hilton joins me through the screen. Welcome, Amanda. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me.
We've been talking a lot about resolutions, but you say we should approach them from a different angle maybe than we normally do?
Yeah, the new year, new me rhetoric has absolutely dominated the personal growth space for decades, really. And especially with social media, there's just so much pressure to completely and utterly overhaul every aspect of our lives every January, which leads us on this yo-yo of setting unrealistic goals and falling short and feeling like we failed in some way. And I'll be the first to admit that I love the fresh start feeling. I and many of the people that I work with were the type of people who like a Monday, a new month, that fresh start. So this isn't about denying ourselves the excitement that the new year can bring, but it's about shifting from the idea that we have to fix or overhaul who we are and instead approaching it from the opposite direction, where we're not being driven by this feeling of inadequacy, but instead we see this time of year as a time that we can grow by focusing on the fun and lightness and play and exploration instead.
I love this because you're continuing what we just spoke with another guest about, just kind of bite-sized pieces, not doing something that is out of our control or is unreachable. And you say that this can really have an impact on our mental health and our lives in general.
Yeah, it really can. And I think that a lot of it boils down to self-trust, because with traditional resolutions, the cycle that so many of us have fallen into is year after year setting the same goals, the same resolutions, and year after year sitting there on December 31st, not having actually made progress towards them. And over time, this chips away at your self-belief. When you don't follow through on what you tell yourself you will, you subconsciously and often consciously as well start to see yourself as the type of person who can't stay committed, who falls off the bandwagon, who doesn't follow through on what matters to you. And so this approach of setting resolutions that are light and fun and energizing ultimately leads to greater transformation in the long run, because they're promises that you can and will want to keep. And the introduction of just a little more inspiration, just 1% more energy or fun or presence in your week also lays the foundation for more energy and inspiration to funnel into other goals as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's talk about a few of these unconventional New Year's resolutions. You have some ideas for us because we can keep these. What's the first one?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first idea is to have a themed night once a month. So this can be based around a movie, like maybe having a Mamma Mia night in the summer where you cook Mediterranean dishes and listen to ABBA, or something like a retro game night where you break out the old board games or video games and dress up accordingly. And these can be really fun, not just to unwind, but also as a way to spark creativity and to bring some novelty into your routine, which we know is really important for not feeling stuck on autopilot that many of us can otherwise start to fall into.
What a great idea. This one kind of falls into that same thing because you say we should do a taste test resolution.
These ones are some of my favorites. So this can look like deciding to try a new fruit every month, maybe a new ice cream flavor, or cooking a dish from a different cuisine every month. Again, the variety and the novelty helps keep the autopilot at bay. And these can also be really fun to tap into that energy of discovery and really savoring your sensory experiences.
I love that. One year I gave my friends all a box of thank you notes, and it came with this little task to write people notes. And that's something you say that can be attainable as well.
Yeah, so you can set a resolution to send a handwritten letter to someone once per month, which can be a really thoughtful way to strengthen your relationships with the people that you want to stay in touch with. And also a really nice way to slow down, because it's so easy for us to get caught up in texting and social media and kind of a frantic, speedy form of communication. And so this small ritual also encourages you to just slow down and to be more present as well.
Your next thought also helps with slowing down, to have a day where we're totally unplugged.
Yeah, so in that same vein, this idea is to have one unplugged day every month. So this could be maybe on a weekend, like a Saturday or Sunday, where other than for something like perhaps using the navigation in your car, other than things like that, you don't use your phone or TV or computer at all because we are all so addicted to our devices. There's just no getting around it. So setting this intention gives your brain a chance to reset and also create space for other activities that you may have otherwise overlooked that can nourish you without those digital distractions.
And your last one is a great idea I want to bring up, just being a tourist in a unique way.
Yeah, so this idea is to become a tourist in your own town by exploring all the local attractions. It is so easy to think that we have to plan elaborate trips in order to capture that sense of adventure. So many of us actually overlook and take where we are for granted. So go onto TripAdvisor, look up the parks, the restaurants, museums, hiking trails that are around you, and check them off one by one to insert that sense of adventure into your life and also to gain just a fresh appreciation for the place that you call home.
I love it. Thank you so much, Amanda. Where can people find more from you?
Yeah, the best place to find me is on my Instagram account where I share kind of practical strategies for becoming the person that you want to be. And that is at The Simply Well Official, all one word, The Simply Well Official. And you can also find me on my website, thesimply.well.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.